Hello everyone, another week, another topic on Let's Pass MB-820. MB-820 is the certification exam for AAL developers. AAL is a language used to develop Business Central applications. If you want to enrich Business Central, because Business Central, the way it is provided by Microsoft, is not good enough, you can extend it with AL extensions. And a big component of an AL extension is an object called TableExtension. We covered last video the table object. So if you want to create a new table that's not included with Business Central, then you would use a table object. Look at my previous video and you will find a few things about the table object. Today's video though is about table extensions. So let's have a look. I extracted here a few things about table extensions. First of all, just like in the case of a table extension, we have a snippet, TableExt. That's how we start with the table extension. That's how I start with the table extension. And then inside the table extension, you can define fields, and the snippet for field is tfield. Just like the same snippet we had for a field within a table. So a field within a table extension, same snippet. You can also modify within a table extension. You can modify properties of field properties, fields that are defined in the table. So we're gonna have a look quickly. Let's and yeah, this is a list, and I'll have that list attached to the video. This list attached to the video. Some properties that cannot be modified at the table level can be modified at the table level, and some properties that can be modified at the field level. The rest of the properties, because this is a small list that we can modify, so therefore the list that you cannot modify is much bigger. Other things related to table extension is that you can't really touch the primary key, the clustered key, but you can add non-clustered keys based on either the base fields or the extension fields. So we're going to have a look at that pretty soon. And yeah, you cannot touch the primary key. The field groups, we discussed about the field groups in the concept of a table, the drop down and the brick. Well, within a table extension, you can add fields from your table extension in that field group, in the field group defined at the previous layer. So let's say in the base application. If the table does not include a field group, you are allowed to create a field group in your extension. So if base app doesn't have a table extension, a field group defined in the base app, then you could potentially add a table extension for that table, and inside that table extension you can define your own field group. And there are some limitations regarding the table extension. You cannot create a table extension for tables that are that have the properties access equal internal or extensible equal false. Let's move into VS Code for a few minutes. So we are here in VS Code, and let's start with the snippet for table extension, and that one is TableExt. And as we press enter, we already can get the scaffolding of the table extension. We can choose our own number, our own ID for the table extension. And as I said, the table extension is to add fields to an existing table in a previous layer, defined in the previous layer. So for example, I have a table in base application called email account. And we see that we can't really extend email account. Why? It's because it says the object table email account is not extensible. Okay, let's have a look at the definition of the email account, and indeed we see the extensible is equal to false. So that's why we can't really extend email account or tables that are have the property extensible equal false. Let's look at this one here, email error. There is a table email error. Let's have a look at it in the base application, and it has access equal internal and extensible equal false. As you can see, the compiler is complaining that we can't extend it because it is inaccessible due to its protection level. This is because internal equal true, access equal internal, and also the second error here, email error is not extensible. So we saw that extensible is equal to false. So that's the example with the reasons why we might not be able to extend a table. Let's have a look now at maybe potentially adding fields to the customer table. This time we didn't have any issues. We can extend customer. If we look at the properties that we can define for this table extension, it's a limited set of properties. We can change the lookup page ID defined on the customer table with a new lookup page ID. The same with drill down page ID. So for example, if I go to customers and go to definition, if I want to change customer list as the drill down page ID or customer lookup for the lookup page ID, that's possible. We can in our extension define two different pages for lookup page and drill down. We can also change the description. We can also change the data caption fields, which is the caption that appears on the customer card for each record, and we can change the captions for different languages, and we can change the caption for the default language. So that's what type of properties we have access to at the table level, at the table extension level. Then if we go here to the fields, let's add a field, and why not use the snippet for the field? The same as we've got the same snippet as the snippet for a field within a table. So T field on table extension, T field on tables. We can define here the table, the field 5100, my awesome field 1, code 25, or let's make it text. And this is a new field, therefore we've got a bunch of properties we can define for this field. There is no restriction. This is a new field. On the other hand, we could modify an existing field, like number. On the customer table we have the field number, and what are the properties that we can use to change what we can change, what properties can we change for a field that was predefined, like in the previous layer. Blank 0, caption class, closing dates. This is for dates fields if we want to have a date defined as a closing date. So the dates defined as closing dates. So this is actually a property that is basically giving the field the value true if it's a closing date. Of course, closing date is not proper here because we're trying to modify the code field and the primary key, and yeah, closing dates is good, but for fields that are of type date. What other properties we've got there? Description, option class, table relation. Yeah, you can change table relation, the tooltip, and the width. we won't change much now. I just wanted to show you what we can do within a table extension. Then we can add a new key, a new non-clustered key, so non-primary key. Again, to add a new key, we can use a snippet. Why not? Is a T key, which gives a pretty basic scaffolding of the key. But we can also have T key Waldo, which does about the same thing. Let's create a key based on this field that we defined here. But what if we add, let's see what keys we have in the customer table. We got the primary key, and then we got the search name for the key 2. Let's take key 4. So let's say we take the key 4 and we try to add a new field, currency code, and my awesome field 1. Would that work? A member of type key with name key 4 is already defined the table customer by the extension base application. The property key 4 can only be set if the specified fields are from the same table. So we cannot add currency code and a field from our extension into an existing key. But if we take maybe country and region code, which is a field in the base application, we cannot touch it. But what if we say 5100? Would that be okay? Yes, if we create a brand new key, we can add whatever fields we want from the base application in that key. What about if we define a new key, 5101, and this time we only add my awesome field? Would that be possible? Yes, that's possible. So we cannot mix. When we define the new keys on a table extension, we can either define keys, fields that are part of the same table, which in this case are part of the base application customer table, or we can define a new key based on fields that we included in the table extension. Let's see the properties. What type of properties can we define here? Can we use clustered? No, we cannot define another primary key in a table extension because we already have a primary key, and any table in a previous layer has a primary key, so we cannot define in a table extension a primary key. What other include fields? Let's see if we can add the currency code here. We cannot add fields from the base application, but if we add a field 5101, my awesome field 2, would that be possible? That is possible. So as long as you're including fields from either from the base app or from so for example, for the first one, for the first key, we need to include a field that is in the base app. That's possible. Field groups. Let me search on BaseApp for a table that doesn't have drop down. Let's see. That's fine. So geolocation has no field group. Would we be able to add in a table extension? So let's say table extension, we're extending geolocation, and let's make it here 5101 geolocation extension. Can we add a field group here? T field group. We have a snippet for T field group. Why not use it? And we've got here, let's see, a few fields. Geolocation has what fields? Latitude, longitude, ID, latitude and longitude. Let's say speed knots, decimal. So we've got a new field here, speed knots, which is added to the geolocation, and let's say we want to add. So we could use the add last keyword to not only add a field group, because there is no field group in the base application. We can add a field group for drop down, and the way we do it is with add last drop down latitude, longitude, speed knots. So that's going to create a field group for those three fields. Looks like we can mix fields from the base application and our extension, which is the field is defined here for field groups. Let's see what else we've got. So yeah, so it's the only keyword we can use here is add last, and we can just use the words, the fields that we want to use after we define to what field group we want to add the fields. I think a year ago Microsoft changed the way the backbone for table extension is working. If before you would have, let's say you would have defined the table extension for customer, and somebody else in another app in the same tenant would define another customer extension, then you would have ended up at that point with the customer table, a customer extension for the first application, and a customer extension for another application, for the second application. And the way the platform was functioning was to join the base app, which was base app table, which was the customer table, with the first app customer extension and the second app customer extension. That join was not between all these three tables was not very performant, and last year Microsoft changed the way this functions. So there is a customer table, but regardless of how many extensions are extending the customer table, the fields added in each customer extension will be merged into one unique table So therefore therefore there is only one join between customer and a customer extension table, which encapsulates all the fields defined in all the applications where a table extension for customer table exists. But about that, I have a previous video. I will include it in the description. That's all I wanted to cover for table extensions. I hope it helps, and if it helps, please subscribe to get a notification when the next lesson about MB-820 will be uploaded to YouTube. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.